Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Tuesday, December 31st, 2019, coming up on a change of a decade. In both the Lynn life and the Jamie body mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions, and all other souls from all other dimensions, as long as the souls are already living by the many search for truth rules already given to the search for truth community by wiser minds above all of us. And whether or not the big deal souls live by the rules, the child souls who come and go through here ask the big deal souls to live by the rules.
That's true.
In many ways, this has been a children's crusade.
That's true.
This effort here. Somebody's asking what the effort is, and the core of the effort is to fulfill the assignments of inspiring a divine miracle to stop the destruction of planet Earth at humanity's hands. Somehow inspire a divine miracle. And as a result of really trying to fulfill that assignment, not saying, well, that's impossible, but just saying, all right, we'll start somewhere and do something, and working on it for a really long time, decades now. We've learned a lot of things, and it's unclear who's speaking, but it's a soul who's been here a lot.
Yeah, that's right.
A very familiar soul. And there are a number, I can feel, it feels like a chorus of souls, and they're standing together with the intent to make a request, and it's a question. They really want to know the answers, and we've been told that questions asked with real curiosity across an interdimensional divide are to be answered, and that is divine law.
That's true.
So we have some questions we're very curious about. Would it be okay if we put those questions on the table in front of the camera? Asking up to that collection of angels and godly presences responsible for planet Earth. There's like a big hand that says, start.
And it's kind of the feeling.
Are you willing to read them?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a series of questions, and it starts with, what happened when the Mediterranean Sea didn't part for the 10,000 best children in Europe back in 1212 AD, also known as CE Common Era?
And that's referring to the Children's Crusade?
That's right.
The 10,000 best children, the best and brightest, the most psychic, the most God-following children walked to, I think it was the tip of Italy, the southern tip of Italy, and God had told them the Mediterranean Sea would part, and they could walk to Israel the short way.
That's right.
And certainly the Red Sea had parted from Moses, and so it was a reasonable expectation that the same hand of God could make a miracle happen again. But when the kids got there, nothing happened. The sea didn't part.
That's right.
And what happened is slave traders descended upon the children and took them all into slavery, and a bunch of bad things happened to the 10,000 best and brightest, causing them to not have a great attitude toward following instructions from above.
That's true.
Arguably causing oppositional defiant disorder in the 10,000 best and brightest of Europe. And we wonder about that incident. Can we
Yeah.
particularly...
And then the next question is, who did the inquiry?
Yeah, and so what we really want to know is what happened after that. Like,
That's
mistakes
true.
happen, and we understand that. And so something went wrong, and we totally get that. But it's been 800 years, 800 years.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
surely there was an inquiry into what happened and then attempts to fix the problem, right? So here's the
And
question.
then what repairs were done?
Yeah, so surely you could find that the system wasn't working. Quite obviously it wasn't working because the Mediterranean didn't part. And what repairs were done? What happened?
And how were the repairs tested?
Did you test them? We know that they must have been tested. How were they tested, and by whom? Somebody's asking, why are you asking about this now? The reason we're asking about this now is because there's a current request on the table to implement instant karma for the bad tail of the bell curve of karma, exactly as is already happening for the good tail of the bell curve of karma.
That's true.
And in such a way to provide guidance to the masses and stop the destruction of planet Earth at humanity's hands. And that request, that prayer is on the table, and we've seen in much higher dimensions godly presences saying, I am implementing instant karma.
That's right.
But it's not making it down to ground zero planet Earth. And then some other big dual souls are saying, this is kind of what happened with the Children's Crusade.
Yes,
And
that's
it's
true.
been 800 years, actually 808 years since the Children's Crusade. And we give you the first 8 years as a freebie, like it surely was a shock to everybody upstairs. But there's been 800 years to figure out what happened and correct it, and we want to know
That's right.
what's going on there. Is there more to the question?
Oh, yeah. And the next part is, when was it fully confirmed that divinity's ability to reach into planet Earth's destiny and create impact had been restored to functionality?
Oh, wow, that's a really good
That's
question.
a really good question. And then, if it's been 800 years and the system hasn't been restored to functionality, what are the karmic consequences to those who were purportedly in charge, who do nothing and allow bullies to run rampant over gentler creatures?
That's a really good question.
Really good question.
Is there any more?
Oh yeah. What are the karmic implications of guardian angels not doing their jobs?
Well, and somebody can see, it's like, meanwhile, somebody's pressed the security button and like all the doors have closed, and their
I feel
intent
that
is
feeling
to
also.
round up these inconvenient questioners and do bad things to them. But
Yes.
can we all live stream up even higher and say, can we see that this isn't a reaction of an actually divine presence, and that somebody has been given authority in error? Can we all see that?
Well, the message goes up.
The message goes up. Is there any more to the question?
Oh yeah. Why was humanity given all these destructive tools when the guardian angels already knew they couldn't reach into the depths?
I think that's referring to the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, I think so
in
also.
1750 and beyond. It's like that's when humanity's destructive capacity really amped up. And
That's right.
And you guys had known since 1212 that you weren't able to reach into the depths. Why would you do that? That doesn't even make sense. How is that responsible? Isn't that like giving babies atomic weapons? Literally atomic weapons. Literally atomic weapons. There are atomic weapons.
Humanity.
Literally, humanity literally has atomic weaponry, and you guys can't reach into the depths. That's problematic.
That's true. And then how may we be of service to correct those errors?
How may we be of service to correct those errors? Well, they keep circling around to a report that was filed
I feel that feeling.
said the problem is solved. It's solved. And it just has the feeling of papering over something.
I feel that feeling.
And the problem wasn't solved. And you know what it's like? It's like how scientists these days are in many cases just bought off
Yeah, that's
by
true.
the people who provide their funding. And the scientists are usually smart people, but they're usually not very courageous. Smart people with more courage don't tend to go into academia. They
That's
tend
true.
to do other things. Smart people who aren't all that courageous tend to go into academia. And so it's hard for scientists to stand up to the funding sources.
That's true.
And it has the feeling of a bought off, a corrupt account.
Yeah, it does.
But it seems to have been a long time ago, like maybe, I don't know, 500 years ago, a really long time ago.
Long time ago.
Definitely before the Industrial Revolution, and after things started going bad, which was in 1750.
That's true.
What happened? Like certainly the last 100 years since the Great War, that was really devastating. What happened? No more inquiries? Why? What happened? We want to know. We need to aim higher.
Yeah, that's what this feeling is.
We have a question from the depths. Out of the depths we call to you, O Lord. What happened? It's been 800 years since a serious flaw in the system was uncovered. And since then, humanity's destructive capacity has multiplied many times over.
That's true, exponentially.
Exponentially, especially since 1750. And so it was about 500 years later. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
500 years later, there was this papered over report that the problem is solved, and then we have industrialization.
That's true.
Fascinating. Who filed that report? And to whom? It's really not who filed the report, because probably it's some cowardly scientist.
Yeah.
But to whom? Well, it looks like a bad person.
A bad person who is important.
Yeah, an important person of questionable ethics.
Yes, that is true.
They're talking about power corrupting.
Yes, they are.
And how challenging it is to retain one's ethics and integrity once one has been given a position of authority.
That's true.
And we would say that that has been our observation also, and that's part of why these two host lives have chosen to live without a lot of power or authority. We have chosen away from those paths, walked away from family opportunities for power and other opportunities
and others also
for power also. It's just, no, I don't want to do that. That is poison to the spirit, poison to the soul. And nothing matters more than our relationship with our own soul. Nothing matters more. For him is the message. What's actually going on. And these are super important, timely, relevant questions that are being asked with a really lot of curiosity across an interdimensional divide.
That's true.
May we please have an answer. Should we go again through the questions?